Government and the ANC has welcomed the Constitutional Court's ruling extending Cash Paymaster Services contract. Scopa has also applauded the court for what it calls practical guidance on drafting the contract with CPS. Scopa chairperson Themba Godi joins us live from our Cape Town studio. Mr. Godi, thank you so much for joining us today. Now, we know Scopa has welcomed the court's ruling, but would you agree that it's also rather disappointing that it has all come to this?
No, indeed. It's disappointing that, it takes a court to direct the executive to do that which it is established to do. Parliament has, through Scopa, been pointing out all the shenanigans that were taking place, and somehow there was a spirit of defiance and seeking to cast aspersions on us. And the court came by and large to the same conclusion as we did, that this is a self-created crisis, and they are now being frog-marched by a court to do the very task for which they've been established. It's shameful.
Now, you said in opening comments in Scopa last week that your main aim was to find out why the social grant system finds itself in this mess. Do you believe that these practical solutions that have been put in place as part of this ruling will help ensure that you finally get to the bottom of what went wrong?
No, indeed. I think if you listened to the meticulous and very knowledgeable manner in which the judges handled the case and through probing exposed the fact that the executive and SASSA failed to act, which was actually in the interest of the CPS, does give a pointer to the fact that there were vested interests that will only be happy with the continuous presence of the CPS, and we're happy now that we can only tolerate them for the next 12 months.
Now, the issue around data integrity really became a central part of the latest sessions in the Constitutional Court this week on this matter. It really goes to the heart of businesses that were really taking advantage of the poorest of the poor.
No, indeed. I mean, worse still when you take into account that that data has been paid for by government, but it is still not in government hands. It is really shocking, shocking dereliction of duty, and playing with the security of the country to have such a large number of personal information in the hands of a private foreign company. I think I find it very staggering, the nonchalant approach that SASSA and the department seem to have on such a very, very critical responsibility on their shoulders.
Now, let's take a look at the role of the Minister, Bathabile Dlamini, in all of this. Now, we all watched as you tried to glean as much information from her in Scopa just last week. It seemed to be quite a frustrating time that you and your team had at the time. She is now being asked to come up with reasons as to why she should not pay for the costs involved in this last session at the Constitutional Court.
Sure.
What do you believe was a role in all of this, along with her staff? Because Chief Justice Mogoeng was very straightforward about all of it as well.
No, look, I think the fact that she must explain to the court why she should not personally be held liable, it's actually a vindication of the line that we've maintained, that we're in this crisis primarily because of her and her alone. There is no incompetence or inefficiencies in SASSA and in the department. There are many executives who have spoken to us who want to do the right thing, but who couldn't because the minister was politically bulldozing them. Even now, if you saw the presentation by one senior official on Wednesday, was that even in the current negotiations that were going on, it was the minister's advisory team that was negotiating the contract, not SASSA officials. And we had seen a letter from the Minister of Finance where he was cautioning her that it was illegal for her to be involved in administrative and procurement matters in SASSA. So she is the source of this problem, and it will be interesting to see what arguments she's going to present, because otherwise this attitude of the court is actually saying you are the source of the problem. Let's not allow the state to pay money for things that you deliberately led us into, because if she had done a job, there would have been no need for a court case.
Well, we have to leave it there for now. That was Scopa chairperson Themba Godi joining us from our Cape Town office. Themba Godi also not mincing his words about the outcome from the Constitutional Court.